Animal testing is a phrase that most people have heard but are perhaps still unsure of what exactly is involved.
Whether it is called animal testing, experimentation, or research, it refers to the experimentation carried out on any animals. It is used to assess the safety and effectiveness of everything from medication to cosmetics, as well as understanding how the human body works. Vivisection refers specifically to the cutting of or operation on any living animal, and this causes pain or distress, although anesthetic is sometimes used. It is frequently used by opponents as a pejorative synonym for the word animal tester. Over 100 million animals are used every year in the United States as models in biological and medical research to study human disease, injury, development, and psychology and anatomy and physiology. Animals often suffer greatly in these studies as they are inflicted with diseases, traumas, and pain they would not normally experience in order to mimic human conditions. In 1859, Charles Darwin's evolutionary theory reinforced the conception that animals could serve as models for humans in the study of biology and physiology. British women in Florence are commonly thought to have led the first organized protest against vivisection in 1863. The Cruelty to Animals Act, allowing the use of anesthetics during vivisection, was passed in England in 1876. Animal testing peaked in the early 1970s and has been in decline since due to both increased public pressure to reduce the numbers of animals tested and the development of available alternatives. Animal testing should no longer be used due to the fact that it can be seen as cruel and unusual towards animals and the availability of alternative ways of research. Mark Twain stated, "I am not interested to know whether vivisection produces results that are profitable to the human race or doesn't. The pain which it inflicts upon unconsenting animals is the basis of my enmity toward it, and it is to me sufficient justification of the enmity without looking further." Each year in the U.S., an estimated 70 million animals are maimed, blinded, scalded, force-fed chemicals, genetically manipulated, and otherwise hurt and killed in the name of science by private institutions, household product and cosmetics companies, government agencies, educational institutions, and scientific centers. Scientists and engineers at Harvard Med have created organs on a chip that mimic human organs. The chips can be used instead of animals in disease research, drug testing, and toxicity testing. Researchers with the National Cancer Institute, the U.S. military, and universities across the country have shown that MatTek's in vitro 3D human skin tissue equivalent is an excellent substitute for animals when it comes to conducting burn research and cosmetics testing and doing research related to radiation exposure and chemical weapons attacks. Instead of cutting into and damaging the brains of rats, cats, and monkeys, progressive researchers who are interested in studying the human brain are now using advanced human-based brain imaging and recording techniques such as the MRI, fMRI, EEG, PET, and CT. 95% of medical schools across the U.S. have completely replaced the use of animal laboratories in medical training with sophisticated human patient simulators, virtual reality systems, computer simulators, and supervised clinical experience. In addition to the abuse aspect and the fact that there are other ways of finding the research we need, not all animal tests are always valid.
The reason why I'm against animal research is because it doesn't work. It has no scientific value. One cannot extrapolate the results of animal research to human beings, and every good scientist knows that. Doctors themselves will admit that animal experimentation is no good. For example, if you say to the doctors, well, these experiments in animals show that this drug is dangerous. It can cause cancer. It can cause all kinds of side effects.
Contrary to popular belief, I am not against finding a cure for cancer or other diseases, and I'm all for the use of cosmetics. However, if we have the ability to use alternative forms of research and still spare the lives of animals that are used on a regular basis to produce results which aren't always accurate in the first place, then why wouldn't we choose that?